Do y'all have documentation or her last pay stubs? Well, the reason why I was asking, Judge, is when our son was born, we went through the state to set child support for me to pay her. I had to show proof of two last paychecks, and I'm trying to find out, was that on her part that she needed to show the court or to give to the Attorney General?
I get it. You're saying, oh, this isn't going to go well for me. No. I get that. I understand. And so now that it's flipped and you're saying, Judge, I've had this child for 7 years. Why are we here?
Judge, we are here today on a motion to modify, and currently support is set at 0. It looks like we may need to get support started. However, mom is currently in a rehab facility. Dad wanted to address the court. I suspect that there was a request for a reset, and Dad wanted to address the court.
Okay. How many children are we talking about in this case?
I believe it's just one. Let me pull that back up.
Is that Easton?
Yes.
Male
Yes,
child?
just that one.
Male child?
Yes.
Yeah,
How old is he?
15.
15 years old. All right. And Mr. Barnard, you have custody of him?
I do.
All right. How long have you had custody of him?
Since he's 8 years old.
All right. Okay. Get down.
Joint custody.
Okay. All right, Miss Prince, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And I will first call, well, based on what my understanding is of the request, I'm going to call Ms. Landry first and just kind of limit it, Judge. And if I need to go back and ask more questions, ask for leniency to recall Ms. Landry if I need to in a moment.
Okay.
Ms. Landry, real quick, state your full name for the record, if you would.
It's Miss Castle, Belinda Faye Castle.
Okay. And you used to be Miss Landry?
Yes, at one point.
And can you tell the court where you are? My understanding is at this point in time, you're asking for a reset before you're ordered to pay any type of child support. Is that my understanding?
Yes, I did have this rescheduled before when I was in La Hacienda in Hunt, Texas. I started treatment June 19th. I successfully went through that on the 25th of July. They referred me here to Starlight in New Braunfels. I've been here since July 25th, and my treatment ends here on 10/29.
And on 10/29, will you be in a position to begin applying for jobs?
I can start now. I'm going into sober living, and I can start. I'm taking classes still, a half day, but I can work around that.
Okay, so right now you can go ahead and start applying for jobs.
Yes.
Okay, and have you done that?
Yes, I've been actively doing that.
Can you tell the court how many jobs you've applied for?
Applied for at least 20.
And just before we go any further, I see someone sitting in the background. Can you tell the court who that person is?
That's my counselor from Starlight, Amanda.
And is that someone that you intend to call as a witness, or do you just have her there for support?
They're here for support. I mean, she's written letters for me, and you know, she can verify things.
Okay. Now, you say that you made about 20 applications, and have you had any interviews?
I've had phone interviews, about 3 interviews.
How did those go?
Those went fine. It's hard when you don't have a vehicle and stuff like that. I do not have a car. I don't have the means. I do not have any money. It's just all, I'm just working, you know, with faith right now. Going to my AA meetings, trying to do what I can, working around that schedule, my half days. So
is this an alcohol issue that you're confronting,
yes,
or is it a drug issue, or both?
it's alcohol only. And I
Okay,
also have a liver doctor. I have cirrhosis.
okay. Now, when was it? You said that it was, I think, in June that you first entered treatment.
Yes.
Did you have a job before that?
I left Rockport. I had a job as a dispatcher, but my drinking got it was such a stressful job. My drinking got very bad, and I went on binges, and I basically almost died. I went to the hospital, had my gallbladder removed. My blood was poisoned, and I had a blood infection, and that's when I knew I had to go to the liver doctor, and that's when it all began.
Okay,
I had this.
when do you believe you will have a job so you can start helping Mr. Barnard supporting that child of y'all's?
I have no idea. That's just a crazy question. I mean, I'm
Okay.
looking, I want a job badly. I mean, I'm behind my bills and everything. I have no money for food or anything. So believe me, I want one too. I'm
How are you
trying my
able, how are you able to pay for treatment, things like that?
treatment. I get my meds for free. I have insurance. Uh, it's marketplace insurance that's helped me through.
And how do you pay for that marketplace insurance?
It's subsidized. It's just I don't know how it works. I have to pay payments, so I'm anxious to get to work to start those payments.
Are you current on your payments with them?
I don't believe so. They've done a lot for me, so I'm sure I have a lot of blood work and hospitalizations and stuff to pay. I'm not current. I'm not current on anything, and I'm very upset about it. But you know, you got to do what you got to do.
And what happened
it's
with your
sad.
vehicle?
I haven't had a vehicle in a long time. My mom was giving me rides to work.
And what county does your mom live in?
Aransas County.
Okay, and if you're applying for jobs, I guess you're applying for jobs in Comal County?
Yes.
How will you have transportation to those jobs?
There's an arts bus, little transportation bus that helps, or there's rides from sober living or walk or whatever.
Okay. What kind of jobs have you applied for?
Medical assisting is what I do, phlebotomist or any gap job like a store. I'm not being very picky at this time. I'm like Chick-fil-A, anything, really. I'm not
Now,
being picky.
the jobs you've had in your past, were they jobs that had retirement plans set with them?
In my past, in my
Yeah,
past,
such,
yes, in my past, but
okay,
I don't
so
know what's
things
gonna be.
like the 911 job,
Yeah, I
what,
had all that, but I don't know what's gonna, right now, I'm in urgency to get a job, so I'm not being too picky.
and just let me ask you, did you have jobs with the county or with the state or any other kind of program like that in the past, other than the 911 job?
No, ma'am.
And I guess you're asking for a reset. You said it's October 29th?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
you're, okay, you're looking for jobs now.
Yeah, because I will have to start paying for my sober living.
Okay,
Also, where I live, I can't live there for free.
okay. And I did not know that. And it looks like you were served, oh, maybe back in April or so.
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that even if the judge grants a reset today, he could order that your child support payments actually start back May 1st of 2025. That's a few months back. And then you would just kind of start out in a little bit behind, but have to be making those current payments, and you could, and even if need be, make extra payments if need be. That's if the judge grants the reset today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's awfully unfair. I mean, this is just a bully trick from Kevin. He's doing this because his wife is giving him an ultimatum. He has money.
Okay, and you
we
understand that the state
and
is the
we
one
have
that,
joint custody. This is not, he doesn't have full custody.
and you understand that the state is the one that brings the case, correct? Has brought the case.
Yeah, but he told me he would not do this, so he can just modify when he wants, I guess. I
Okay.
mean, I've been in treatment. I don't know what he's doing. This is just
Okay,
him.
and just, and I know you probably go through this with AA, but when you have a child, you've got a responsibility for that child,
I
right?
got a responsibility to stay alive for my child, and my recovery comes first.
Okie dokie, pass the witness, Judge.
Miss Castle,
Mhm.
how long have you been in this treatment program or in a
Since-
treatment program? Because you said you were previously with another one and then got in over here with
Yes,
Starlight.
sir. I've been in it since June 19th.
Okay. And so prior to that, you were not in a program, you were living a normal life, so to
In
speak.
Rockport and Lamar, yes, sir. I went to the hospital. I had a very bad situation there, and then I went to my liver specialist.
Okay. Ma'am, and you state you do have a drinking problem.
I've had a drinking problem it intensified 15 years ago, but I've had it all my life. I grew up
Okay.
in Port Aransas.
Okay, so you're an alcoholic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the first step is to admit you're an alcoholic.
I'm
Otherwise,
powerless against alcohol.
okay. All right. All right. When was the last time that you had a normal job, a 40-hour-a-week job?
Dispatch job in Rockport.
Where you were a dispatcher?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you were working 40 hours a week?
Oh, yes. I was working 12-hour shifts for Allegiance.
Making approximately how much per hour, ma'am?
$18 an hour.
Okay, and you lost that job because of the drinking issues?
It just messed with my mental health. It was stressful, and it would make me go off on binges, and yeah.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. When did child support get lowered to $0 per month?
Zero.
Or has it always been zero? Do you,
It's always been zero. We made that agreement when I signed over for Easton to live with him. It was going to be joint, but it's going to be this no child support.
okay, so back when Easton was approximately age 8, and I'm not challenging you, I'm just asking you, I'm clarifying. So about the time Easton was age 8, Mr. Barnard took primary or custody by agreement of Easton, correct?
Yeah, we drove to Sinton and I signed the paperwork, but
Right.
I wasn't even really coherent. I was drunk at the time.
But y'all agreed to that. Well, now he's age 15 now, so you had lots of time to reconsider that. And so for the last 7 years, you've acquiesced in the decision to let Easton be living primarily with his father, correct?
Yes.
Okay, again, I'm not trying to trap you, ma'am. I'm actually just trying to get clarification on what's happened. And during
Okay.
that entire time, you're saying, Judge, we had an agreement that I was not going to have to pay child support, correct?
Correct.
And basically what you're doing is you're wanting to hold Mr. Barnard to that agreement of 0 child support. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And you understand that Mr. Barnard can only get child support until the child turns 18 and or graduates, whichever comes later, right?
Yes, sir.
So even if I order child support, it only goes until the child turns 18 and or graduates, whichever comes later.
Yes, sir. I know.
The child is 15. Is he a freshman in high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is he on track to graduate on time?
He should be. Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess what I'm getting at is that your exposure really is only for about maybe 3 years. He's a
Yeah, yes, sir,
freshman.
I know, but,
Actually, if he's a freshman, your exposure is for about 4 years, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. So
yeah.
your exposure is 3.5 months, yeah, or so. Okay, I just want to make sure you understand.
I don't mind paying for my son, but him trying to get back child support and all that, and me pay for court costs, this is just unreal. I mean,
Okay,
I'm trying to stay afloat here.
I understand, ma'am, and what's helping you is your statement of, I don't mind paying child support for my son. You understand, he's a grown boy, he's 15
I
years
would do
old.
anything for my son.
Okay, all right. And so my gut job here is to do what's in the best interest of your son. You understand that, right? I'm not here for your best interest, Ms. Castle. I'm not here for Mr. Bernard's best interest. I'm here for the best interest of your son. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so it really is irrelevant how much money Mr. Bernard or his wife makes, or what his ultimatums are with his wife, or anything else like that. That's totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter if Mr. Bernard's married to a millionaire. That is nothing to do with the fact that your son has needs. And as a parent, you are obligated to provide, as is Mr. Bernard. Y'all are both obligated to provide for your son's needs. You understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, I just want to get that clear with you, so you understand some of the things you state do have some merit to them, but some of the things I just need to tell you, ma'am, that's not going to be relevant. So,
Mhm.
but I really appreciate, the best thing you've said so far is, I'm willing to provide some help. Okay, so that's going to go a long way with where we are on this case. And again, you only got 3 years of exposure, so.
Right.
Okay, and even if we go back some to May, it would still not be, we're not going back 7 years. We're going, maybe if we do go back, if we do go back. So keep in mind, your exposure is not all that great, okay? And so I just want to make sure you understand that. Okay,
Okay.
so how are you doing in your recovery?
I'm doing good. I'm about what is it? The ninth I've been sober since the 19th of June, so 70 something days. Sober, I'm going to 2 AA meetings a night. Tonight, I go to AA meetings every night. I
You
have a
said
sponsor, and
you've been
I plan to stay sober for the rest of my life.
you've been suffering, you said, from cirrhosis, from the
Yes,
alcohol?
sir.
Correct?
And they
How-
diagnosed me with
are you-
PTSD and trauma.
Okay, now have they made a diagnosis with you that the cirrhosis won't kill you if you stop drinking? Is that basically where
Yeah,
you're at?
I have stage 4, but they said it, as long as I stop, then I will live a long life.
Okay, that's good news. So that means
Mhm.
it's in front of you, what can be done
Mhm.
here. Okay, all right.
Yes,
And
sir.
now, when you do get released and you said, look, I'm already trying to find jobs, and are you a licensed phlebotomist?
Licensed medical assistant, but also did phlebotomy. I'm not licensed in that, but I can do it.
Okay, all right, so it's possible you could get a pretty good job, but it's also
Mhm.
possible that you may be getting a job at Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and you're gonna take whatever job you can get, right?
yeah. Until I find till I just need to get into it and get some stable financial income.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so your intention is to go to work as soon as possible, best job you can find, and then improve job situations as time goes on. Obviously, ma'am, if you stay free of the alcohol and continue to get the treatment, and then that's going to be the key for you, ma'am, as to
Yes,
whether or
sir.
not you make it. And if you
Yes,
make
sir.
it, your son makes it. Okay?
I'm doing it for him also.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, is there anything else you want to tell the court at this time? Because Mr. Bernard's going to get his chance. Okay, don't think I've forgotten you, Mr. Bernard. So,
No, I just really hope you start uh now instead of back in May, because I have been in treatment and I'm hoping to get a job soon. So
right. Okay. All right.
I'm really working hard, and I don't I'm just I'm believing in my faith in God right now.
Well, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you this before I ask this other question. When you're going out there and looking for jobs, people need workers. People need help, but they're gonna look and say, what do we got here? And so they're gonna have to have faith that you're a recovering alcoholic and you will be a good, hardworking person, honest, dependable, coming to work and stuff like, that's what's gonna make them decide whether to hire you, okay?
Yes.
So keep that in mind. You're trying to sell yourself. And you need to sell yourself as this is the new me, not the old me. Don't hold against me what I did. Okay, do you understand? Okay, all right, okay,
Thank you.
all right. Ma'am, do you have any other witnesses you would like to call at this time?
My counselor, would you like to talk?
I can just verify whatever you need.
Do you want to say anything? No. My counselor's here. She can say something.
She is participating at 100%. She's doing everything that I've asked her to do. She's on time. She's committed to her sobriety. So that all looks hopeful.
Okay, ma'am, although you're not sworn in, you're not under oath as a witness. I've heard what you have to say. I'm gonna go ahead and allow that to come in, as an unsworn statement, but I do appreciate your support. And, this young lady obviously is very grateful for the support you're giving her, but y'all are on the right track. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, Ms. Prince, do you have any other questions for this witness?
No, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Barnard.
Yes, sir.
I very much appreciate your patience. And by the way, Ms. Castle, remember, Mr. Barnard did not interrupt you. So whether he agreed with you or did not agree, he sat quietly and paid you the courtesy of letting you, allowing you to testify without.
I won't interrupt.
So I want you to give him the same courtesies now. 'Cause
Okay.
whether you agree or not with what he says, just let him, it's his time, okay? Give him
Okay.
the same courtesies. Mr. Barnard.
Yes, sir.
Well, actually, Ms. Prince, do you want to ask Mr. Bernard some questions first?
Sure, Judge. Thank you. Mr. Bernard, please state your full name for the record.
Kevin Keith Barnard.
And what is it that you would like to see happen here today?
I would like to see to go ahead and move forward for child support.
Okay. And do you believe that at this point in time, Ms. Landry, first let me ask you this. When was the last time you and Ms. Landry spoke?
Ma'am, it's been months. I don't want to, it's been within a year.
Okay. And the reason I was asking is I was wanting to know, as far as you know, from what you've seen today, from what you know of her in the past and last time you saw her, is there anything wrong with her that makes you think that she could not obtain at least a minimum wage job?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you heard her state that she has 20 applications she's put in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who's been supporting your son during this time?
I have.
And so you are asking for child support, is that correct?
That is correct.
And how does the child get health insurance?
Through me, through my employment.
Okay. And how much does that health insurance cost you each month?
Oh, ma'am.
Just for that child, only for your child?
Ma'am, I wish I'd been known to bring this. I know y'all have it. I apologize, but it's
Is it less than 100 or more than 100?
I would say around the $100 mark, if I'm guessing correctly.
Okay, and that's just for the one child?
Yes, ma'am.
And then does that include dental also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you asking the court to set child support today based on minimum wage?
Does it have to be set at minimum wage or her last known amount that she was making?
Well, so you're asking the court to just infer that she could make the $18 an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are you asking that the court set child support And before we go any further, I guess I should ask, you're in opposition, I understand, to her request for a reset until, I guess probably the beginning of November. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, and I understood that from what you said earlier. I just want to make sure it was real clear on the record that you were objecting to that. And so are you asking for child support to begin September 1st, which is the normal usual time for today, basically? Are you asking the court go back, what it looks like would be May 1st to 2025 based on when she was served with this petition?
Back to when she was served.
Okay, anything, and is there anything else that you want the court to know right now?
Well, she was working prior to being served, and so I think that needs to be noted. And then once she got served, I heard from my son what she was telling him, that she wasn't gonna pay me nothing. She ain't gonna have to deal with this. And yeah,
So you're
I
under
think
the, go ahead.
I think by me doing this, getting her served and asking for this, it might have helped her, might have saved her life.
Okay. And so you're saying that it's your belief that the only reason she is in rehab is because she was served with the paperwork to start paying child support?
Yes,
Yeah, and it looks like based on what's on file with the court, it was April 29th, 2025 when she was served, and I think the testimony was in June that she went into rehab. Did you have any discussions or talk with her between April and June?
no, ma'am,
Okay, anything else you want the court to know right now?
no, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Pass the witness, Judge.
Sir, state your last name again.
Barnard,
Barnard. I know I
Yes,
keep
sir.
butchering it, but it's
That's
Barnard.
okay.
Okay, I'll try to stop from butchering it, Mr. Barnard. Okay, Mr. Barnard. Let me see if I have this right then. You're asking me to set child support going back to the date of service, which was April 29th. So you're asking me to start as of May 1 of 2025 with her having to pay child support, right?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to redirect this question over to Ms. Prince. Ms. Prince, have you calculated child support based on a minimum wage standard?
No, Judge, but I sure can. I just need to verify that this is the only child that Miss Landry has, that she has a court order to pay support on, or the only child she has, period, I guess.
Ms. Barnard, does she have any other kids she's paying support on or has to pay child support for?
They're grown.
They're all
Sir,
over
I can't.
18?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, Ms. Prince, why don't you calculate for me two numbers? One based on minimum wage. Since she doesn't have a job at this point, I would imagine that we could do something with cash medical, but that cash medical would go directly to Ms. Barnhart. So calculate it with child support and at minimum wage and looking at a reimbursement. And then also calculate it at the $18 an hour with also reimbursement for the medical. While I'm going through the questions with Mr. Barnard, if you will calculate that for me, I would appreciate that, okay?
Will do, Judge.
All right. Okay,
Your
sir.
Honor,
Yes.
do y'all have just by her saying what she made, do y'all have documentation or her last pay stubs?
I don't. I don't know if there's, I mean, I'm going strictly by the testimony right now. Are you aware of other jobs in her recent past where she was making more than minimum wage? Other than this, she said she was doing $18 an hour and then talked about how she was stressing on it and it drove her more to the drinking and stuff. That's what I heard. Okay. Not saying it's true, not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that's what she testified to. But are you aware, sir, of any other jobs that she's had where she was making more monies and what she was making and when that job was?
I've never looked into or asked or anything of what she's ever made.
Okay, all right. And that's why I asked you the question, because if you say,
Yes, sir.
don't know, okay.
Well, the reason why I was asking, Judge, is when our son was born, we went through the state to set child support for me to pay her. I had to show proof of two last paychecks, and I'm trying to find out, was that a on her part that she needed to show the court or to give to the Attorney General?
Right, and here's the problem, and I get it, I get it. You're saying, oh, this isn't gonna go well for me. No. It's two different situations. Your situation was exactly what should have happened was, okay, let's figure out what he makes and determine child support. He said, well, they held me to that and I had to go get pay records, right? Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I get that. I understand. And so now that it's flipped and you're saying, Judge, I've had this child for 7 years and, I made a deal years ago of no child support. I understand that. Okay, you've held to the deal. Okay, now you come in and said, I need some help. My son's got needs and it would be nice if his mom was helping out, right?
Yes, sir.
I got it. Okay. So new deal. You would like to make a new deal. Okay. With us, the testimony is that she's been in rehab for this time period. Several months. The testimony is she has no money, no income right now. The testimony is she's trying to get back on her feet so that she can go back to work. That's her testimony. I don't have any evidence to support any other numbers. And what we generally do when we don't have evidence of earnings, okay, and don't have some type of evidence of current earnings, then we do frequently fall back to what we call the minimum wage standard. Okay, until we can have some concrete evidence of, okay, it's not minimum wage. She's now working at this doctor's office and I want to go for a modification. Because understand that if we set it at a minimum wage standard, because that's all we have to go by right now, I don't have a job that I could say, okay, we're going to get the pay stubs, a current pay. And she hadn't had a job for some time now. Sounds like the last job she had, yes, she was making $18 an hour, but yeah, she gets out, she goes back to working with that company. You have a right to say change of circumstance and come back. It's modifications grounds. Do you understand, Mr. Barnard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm just letting you know it's a fair system. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so for right now, the only thing we have is the minimum wage number. She on her own testified and said, yes, I was working there as dispatcher. I was getting full time. I was making $18 an hour. But she also testified that it was stressful and, stressful for one person may not be stressful for somebody else. But she testified that it drove her to the drinking and made it worse when she went on benches and stuff like that. So I have to take that into account as to, okay, that was the job, but it may not be something to try to hold her to. And it's because for medical reasons. That's why I've asked the questions I have. Okay, so at this point, to answer your concerns, I've only got actual numbers right now, possible minimum wage. Ms. Prince, have you calculated for me?
Yes, Judge, I sure have. At minimum wage, with $100 being paid towards medical support, the child support would be $212 per month. At the $18 an hour, giving no kind of allowance for overtime, giving no allowance for vacations, just a straight 18 an hour for 52 weeks, 12 months out of the year. The child support, the medical support would be the $100 still reimbursement to dad, and then $517 child support.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Prince, for calculating that for me.
Yes, Judge.
So it's either, okay, kind of a range here I'm looking at. But either way, the cash medical would be 100 a month, right?
Correct, Judge. This,
Go-
at the minimum wage, that's within that 9%.
Right, right. Okay, all right. Okay, sir, do you have anything else that you want to tell the court at this time?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other witnesses you would like to call at this time?
No, Your Honor.
How's your son doing?
He's doing great.
Do you have other children besides him?
They're grown. I have 2 older daughters.
Both over 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your son's a freshman?
He is. Yes, sir.
At which high school?
Gregory Portland High School.
Oh, does he play sports?
He's in tennis. He's in band.
So he participates in stuff.
Oh, yes, sir. Quite a bit.
How's his grades?
He's passing his grades for right now. We'll see how it goes on.
Okay, okay, sir. All right. My son used to come home and say, Dad, what's the problem? I'm passing. And
Yeah.
so I understand that. Okay. Do you have a good relationship with your son?
Oh, a very good relationship.
I know I don't have to ask you this, but do you love your son?
Oh, I love him to death.
Does he love you?
Oh, yes, sir, he does.
Okay. Does your son have a relationship with his mom?
Your Honor, I don't want to sound negative or anything. I don't think that the relationship that it's not anywhere where it should be.
Okay, that's a fair statement. All right. But
Okay.
does your son love his mom?
Your Honor, I would prefer not to answer that. I would like for maybe you to ask my son that. I don't want to.
All right. We would hope so, right?
That's out of respect of the court and its
I
mother.
appreciate that. Okay, does the mother love her son? Does Miss Castle love him? To your knowledge, do you feel like she loves him?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, are you asking the mother or me?
I'm asking you, Miss Barnard. Barnard.
Does she love him? I believe she loves him.
Okay, all right. And sir, you realize I have to do what's in the best interest of your son, right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. If she does love him and if he has some kind of feelings for his mother, would you not agree with me that if she went off the deep end and didn't survive this, okay? Maybe cirrhosis gets her because she goes back to the drinking and stuff like that. You would agree with me that'd be hurtful for your son, right?
I would imagine so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he'd be sad at something. He can be angry at his mom, but that doesn't mean he wishes her harm, right?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. So I guess where I'm going with this, you probably figure it out is, I don't want to hurt your boy. And if we assist in taking down mom, make it where she fails because I was too harsh, your son could lose his mom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I also realize, and I know you're not trying to do this for vengeance or anything else. And you know what's the good news? You heard her testimony. She said, I'm willing to help my son. You heard her say that, right?
Yes, sir.
All she's saying is, please don't choke me down. Give me a chance to get on my feet. Is that what you heard?
Yes, sir.
That's what I heard too. Okay. All right. Keep that in mind with regards to my ruling. And also keep in mind, we're looking at 3 to 4 years of exposure, and that's it. I can't, and even if you ask for it, I can't go back 7 years and undo the deal you made. The deal you made is the deal you made. And that applies to prior to the time that you file. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is not a crushing financial thing anyway. I think it's almost more of, I just like her to help and her to commit to it. All right. So do you have any other witnesses you want to call?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else you want to tell the court?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Prince, do you have any other questions for this witness?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Castle, can you hear me?
Mhm. Yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell the court at this time?
Yeah, he's brainwashed my son, and this is very sad.
He's
He
what
just
about
said
your
that
son?
because me and my son were very close.
Okay, well, ma'am, I'm rooting for you. And he's rooting for you, whether you believe it or not.
No, he's not. You don't know that man. He's crazy.
Well, ma'am, I know this much. He loves his son. That I do know.
Yeah, for money. This is a man that. Okay, I won't say anymore.
Yeah, that's not good, ma'am. That you're not helping yourself by saying for money when for the last 7 years you've not provided support. So he's done okay all this time. So him asking for some help now, I know you feel like he's ganging up on you, piling on, but no, ma'am, I don't feel that way at all. And I think more of it's kind of almost the principle of the thing. It's not a great deal of money you're looking at no matter what, but I'm trying to encourage you to continue to do what you're doing, but I'm also trying to encourage you to say, look, ma'am, you've said I'll help and I want you to help.
I will help, but the principle of saying that my son doesn't love me is terrible.
Well, ma'am, he didn't say that. He just said, I'm not going to address it. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know there's bitterness and anger between y'all, and that's okay. I can't fix that. But I do know that boy is innocent, that y'all's son is innocent in all of
Yes,
this.
he is.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say at this time, Ms. Castle?
No, no, sir.
All right. Okay. Ms. Prince, do you rest?
Yes, Judge, rest and close.
Okay, then. All right. Ms. Prince, are you also asking for court costs?
Judge, state's asking for court cost and then, of course, for the court to make a decision as to what the court feels is a just and right order in this case, along with best interest of the child, whether that's a temporary order, final order, whatever the court may feel, we're fine with.
Okay. And I understand that the father does not want us to reset this matter. So he's not in agreement to that reset date that you talked about. So I understand that. Okay. All right. Then I'm ready to rule.
Okay.
Okay. I do find that I have jurisdiction of this case. And I do find and recognize that and I'll keep butchering the name, Mr. Barnard.
It's okay. However you can say it, sir.
Okay, then Ms. Barnard does have custody of the child and has had the child since approximately the age of 8. And the child is a young man named Easton Castle, who is a male
Barnard.
who's age 15 and is now a freshman in high school at Gregory Portland. I understand that by the prior orders that gave Ms. Barnard primary custody, that there was 0 child support set at that time. And I recognize that the father has filed for some child support and that Ms. Castle was served back at the end of April for that child support. So the most I can go back, if I'm going to set it back retroly, I can only go back to May the 1st, regardless, May 1st, 2025 this year. I've also taken a notice of the testimony about the medical problems Ms. Castle has and the rehab she's currently in and the progress she's making in the rehab and the fact that she's optimistic that she'll be able to get some job. It may only be a minimum wage job, but some job, and that she should be hopefully out and available to go to work. Maybe even go to work sooner than that because I think she'd go part-time, but that she's looking at possibly as soon as November 1 being able to go and take on a full-time job. So that's what I'm recognizing that the evidence is. I also recognize she has severe medical issues with cirrhosis of the liver, and that it's critical that she continue on her current rehab program and continue to make progress towards getting back healthy again, so that she can work, so that she can be there for her son. Okay, so we're keeping in mind all of that. The only evidence I have right now on child support does not warrant setting it at $18 an hour. I'm not going to do that at this time. I am going to set child support based on minimum wage. And I'm going to kind of meet part way in the middle here, in that I'm going to order Miss Castle, to pay child support at minimum wage standard of $212 a month, and to pay medical and dental reimbursement to Mr. Barnard of $100 a month. And all of that is going to start effective June 1, 2025. Now, I understand she doesn't have any income at this time. So when she does go to work, the child support's already set, and she will be a little bit behind, but that's certainly a palatable deal because it's based on minimum wage. She will owe the back money, and she can start making payments when she does go to work. I'm going to leave that up to them to arrange that. But again, I'm going to start June 1, 2025, child support of $212 a month, plus cash medical reimbursement of $100 a month. So the total outlay for her is $312 a month. It goes back to beginning June 1st. So if she goes to work in November, she'll be approximately 5 months behind, about somewhere between $1,500 and $1,600 a month in arrears. But all of that, the child support will only be in place until the child turns 18 and or graduates, whichever comes later, okay, or is otherwise emancipated. Mr. Barnard has the right, once she goes out and she starts to work, that's why we're going to have a specific finding that it's based on minimum wage. So that if she goes out, she has a better job, making better than minimum wage, he has the right to come in and modify. Doesn't have to wait the 3 years. I would consider that a substantial change in circumstance. But I'm also not going to choke her down and set child support at $18 an hour and force her back into a job that possibly pushed her towards the conditions she's been fighting. So my job is to do what I think is best for this little boy and for this young man. And so I'm trying to balance it for both sides, relying on Miss Castle's statement that she wants to help. So I'm trying to do it at the minimum amount possible. She's not having to come up with a lump sum for the back money, but I do think that by setting it at the lower amount and not going all the way back, but starting at June 1, that she's getting as much help as I can give her within my discretion, in a fair manner, to not choke her down and give her a chance to get back on her feet and to provide. Now, Ms. Castle, I want to make sure you understand something. This has nothing to do with your feelings towards Mr. Barnard. Okay, has nothing to do with that. This is strictly, you told me you want to help your son. I'm setting it at minimum wage. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're getting all the leeway I can give you to get on your
Okay,
feet.
will this come out of my check?
That would be correct, that they'll do a withholding order. So once you go to work, you want them to take it out of your check. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Priest.
And I was gonna say, Judge, she needs to make sure to contact the Attorney General's office when she gets a new job. Let us know the address, all of that good stuff. Then we can do the wage withholding order. But the first time or two, she's gonna need to make those payments herself
Right, Ms. Castle,
initially.
what that
And it
means
will be in
is
the order.
that Attorney General will help. They want it to happen, and you can help the Attorney General by letting them know, okay, here's where I'm working. As soon as you can, you let them know because the sooner you let them know, the faster they'll implement the withholding order and start to take it out of the check. That's a good
Okay.
thing. But what Ms. Prince is pointing out, the responsibility is yours to pay. So if you don't get to come back and say, well, they took 3 months to start taking it out, I'm gonna say, well, during those 3 months, you still were supposed to pay. Do you understand, Ms. Castle?
Okay. They won't take, I mean, they'll leave me money for my rent and stuff, right?
Well, what they'll do, here's what they'll do. I think the limit is only up to 50% of what you make. And so
Okay,
at this minimum wage standard, even with the reimbursement for the cash medical, okay, that's normally your obligation to provide the insurance. So the obligee is providing it. So he's testified it's about $100 a month, which I think is very low. So that's great. You're reimbursing that and you're paying your minimum wage child support, and it should still leave you enough to survive on. Now, ma'am, here's the other thing. We're basing it on minimum wage child support, 40 hours a week. Okay. If you get a job where you're working minimum wage, but more than 40 hours a week, it's still going to be the amount that we said here today. Okay.
Okay.
So any extra work you can do is a great advantage. Do it. And if you get an opportunity for a better job, instead of minimum wage, you go to a $12, $13, $14 an hour job, take it. Do
Okay.
not think, well, if I do that, then Mr. Barnard's going to come back and want more money. Yes, he might. But the good news is, remember, the clock is ticking. Once your son hits 18 and graduates, the only support you're going to have to give for your son is what you choose to give him, because you will no
Okay.
longer be under a child support obligation, not for current
Okay.
support. Now, you may owe back money you got to pay, but not current. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so I'm hoping your health gets better. I'm hoping your life gets turned around. I'm hoping you get on your feet. I'm hoping you provide for your son. And I'm hoping your son and you have a happy, healthy relationship. Because as he gets older, he's going to need his mama in his life. Okay?
Yeah.
He may even be off in college and say, hey, mom, I sure need some gas money or some rent money. And you may be doing good enough that although you no longer have to pay child support, you want to help him because you love your son, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So let's put you in that position. Okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. Ms. Mark, do you understand my ruling?
I do,
Okay.
Judge.
I'm not resetting this. I'm getting it resolved today. I've made my ruling for today. That goes in effect today. I am assessing court costs against Ms. Castle. Ms. Castle, you'll find those are not high. And usually the district clerk will work with you on a pay plan. So court costs are not going to be a backbreaker. I can promise you that. But you do, by law, I am assessing the court costs, and I do believe that my ruling is in the best interest of the child. I have not addressed at all, and I'm not going to address at all, visitation and stuff like that. Y'all have an order in place, whatever that order is, that's not being changed today. The only thing that's modified today is the child support is now set at a minimum wage standard plus a reimbursement for the cash medical. Did I miss anything, Ms. Prince?
No, Judge, sure did not on that one.
Okay, Mr. Barnard, you understand everything?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Castle, do you understand everything?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, I appreciate y'all's efforts, and I appreciate y'all's honesty, and I appreciate y'all being courteous in court today. So I don't want it to come back. I want to make this where we get this done today and stays in place the rest of the way through. Good luck to both of y'all, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go off the record now. Thank you very much.